Well, we started at the same time this time.
Oh, did we? I thought I was just a little bit before you. But
No,
okay.
but prior to us recording, though, you did get me.
Oh, did
so.
I got you?
All right. Well, are you ready to take another journey along the road of the Bible?
I'm ready.
Are you? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to have hookers today.
Yes, we're gonna have hookers. I'm so glad you're excited for hookers. Okay.
I've never bought a hooker.
I should hope not. All right, so last time, Lord Zed found out that he would be the last king before the Messiah. Also, the Israelites fuck shit up again. So, it's pretty much par for the course, really.
Yeah, typical shit.
Yep. This time, though, we're going to be talking about a parable about two whores.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why, but every time you hear an apologist or some kind of evangelical talk about the prostitutes, they don't ever just use like prostitute or hooker, maybe.
Or sex worker.
Or sex worker. They make sure to emphasize the WH.
Whores.
Israel and Judah were like whores. Because that's what the parable is about today, is Israel and Judah acting like prostitutes. And just to put it very bluntly, they liked having their titties fondled. They got groped everywhere. Apparently, they just walked down the street, tits out, and was like, come on, boys. 3 what talents? Shekels. Give me a shekel and you'll get a touch.
I couldn't come up with a rhyming word.
No, I don't know.
A feckle.
Feckle this tackle with your neckle for a shekel. Fucking, I don't know. So anyways, apparently they just wanted the biggest dicks in the world, is what they were concerned with. But not really just the biggest dicks. I mean, pretty much just any dick, because they fucked everyone.
Well, I mean, we know the biggest dicks are in Egypt.
Obviously.
From the last, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they didn't discriminate. They were open to everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kings, stable boys, mounted knights, probably some infantrymen.
Generals,
mm-hmm. And also window washers. I mean, they just didn't give a fuck.
There were window washers?
Sure there were.
Oh, okay. I don't think they had windows back then.
I mean, they were in the desert. I mean, all they had to do was like heat up the sand a little bit and you got some glass.
But they didn't.
I mean,
they had holes with like they put curtains over.
Somebody's got to wash that shit.
Wash what?
Curtains, the windowsill. I don't know. I'm sure they got birds that shit on their windowsills.
Yeah, birds are a pain.
See, window washers. Anyways. God is going to pay the lovers of these two whores to kill them. But instead, the lovers have a different idea. They're going to strip them naked and then shame them. I guess they stand around in a circle and they yell insults at them. Mm-hmm. Like, your nipples are hairy or something like that.
But I mean, they're still going to kill them.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh, sorry. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I don't know why you got to steal my thunder.
Right.
So anyways, the lovers form a circle like a really mean sorority would, mm-hmm. and start circling all the cellulite and everything on their bodies and yelling insults at them, telling them they look like, I don't know, ogres. Whores, I guess. But anyways, so they stop doing that shit and they start to stone them. They cut them with their swords, and they kill their entire family. Just like the mafia would.
Yeah.
God's mafia.
And then what do they do?
Oh.
They burn their houses down.
Oh. I mean, I felt like, killing their entire family and everything they have. I mean, at that point, they don't really care about the houses. I mean, they're not alive to care.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in reality here, we're going to jump over to quote-unquote reality. All of that shit basically happens to Israel and Judah in the actual story. So there you go. And that's what it is. Don't fuck with God, because He'll turn
or horse, apparently.
He'll whore you up and then shame you and kill you. And yeah. Now, keep in mind, this is God doing it to his chosen people, Israel and Judah.
You know, it's funny, this book, you know how they have the gray boxes before the passages and stuff and talks about. Apparently, which is not surprising, you'll see when we get to it, most readers are kind of offended by this portion because it's offensive.
It's horrish.
It's sexually offensive.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Do they describe the fondling?
Yes.
Jeremy went over there and tickled her nipple.
I mean, not quite like that, but
she was like, "Give me half a shekel for that."
We'll get there.
I feel like Rodney Carrington would definitely be right at home in this particular section of the Bible.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. He's got that one song
Mm-hmm.
about how girls should show their titties to him. So it feels like it's right in that ballpark. This is the Rodney Carrington chapter of the Bible.
Fair.
Yep. What's up, heathens?
How y'all doing? I almost forgot what we were doing.
Normally, you're having to correct me about the introduction, so I'm sure you were sitting there like, wait, is this the right one? Oh, shit, it is. I'm like...
Yeah, I was getting ready to do the Skeptic Mafia. I was like, wait a minute, what? What's he saying? Shit, this is the other one. All that went through during the part, yeah.
All right, so we're about to get into the actual Bible study, and I'll just let Casey take over, because obviously I got some shit wrong, I think.
I mean,
somewhere.
I don't know if it was necessarily wrong so much as it just wasn't. We'll just read the words.
Yeah.
And let listeners decide.
Yeah. I feel like maybe this needs like a special posting where I just interpret the Bible as Josephus.
Yeah.
And then they walked down the streets and their titties were out.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to stop me at any time during this reading and do your Josephus interpretation.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. But this is going to be Ezekiel 23.
Okay.
Is what we're doing. And then we're going to get just a couple of verses from Kings, Chronicles, and Jeremiah at the end that are actual going into the siege of Jerusalem.
Okay.
Okay. This is not for children. This particular...
If any children happen to be listening to this, you might want to turn it off now because you're about to hear some dirty shit.
This is also not safe for work. I feel like we should start every podcast off by saying
this is not safe for work or Christian ears.
Children. Yeah. Okay. So the word of the Lord came to me as Ezekiel. We're in Ezekiel. Yeah. Okay. Son of man, there were 2 women, daughters of the same mother. They became prostitutes in Egypt, engaging in prostitution from their youth. In that land, their breasts were fondled and their virgin bosoms caressed.
Their titties got played with many a time.
When they were children.
For many a shekel.
The older was named Oholah, and her sister was Oholibah.
Hey, Hola, get over here. I need to fondle some titties.
Oholah, Oholah, and Oholibah, Oholibah.
Hey, you know what? If they go to church before they go and do their whoring business, you think it's called Glory Oholah?
Maybe.
Anyway. They probably use that as like a marketing technique. Like, come on, visit the Glory Oholah.
Maybe they might. That would have been smart.
Yeah.
Tagline.
Yep.
Everybody likes a good tagline. Okay, so God's talking. Those are the sisters' names. They were mine and gave birth to sons and daughters. Oholah is Samaria, which is in Israel, right?
Okay.
Oholah is Samaria, and Oholibah is Jerusalem. Judah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oholah engaged in prostitution while she was still mine, and she lusted after her lovers, the Assyrians. Warriors clothed in blue, governors and commanders, all of them handsome young men and mounted horsemen. She gave herself as a prostitute to all the elite of Assyrians and defiled herself with all the idols of everyone she lusted after. She did not give up the prostitution she began in Egypt, when during her youth men slept with her, caressed her virgin bosom, and poured out their lust on her. It's interesting because
bukkake in the Bible.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, fellas, let's make a ring and we're gonna have some fun, I guess.
What's interesting though is like it says young men slept with her and caressed her virgin bosom. They keep saying virgin bosom. You only get that shit one time. So only one dude gets that.
Only one dude gets the bosom?
The virgin bosom.
Oh, yeah. Maybe they do that whole re-virginization process that they got going on now.
I don't think they did that.
I think you got to sprinkle some lamb's blood on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then wash it down with some holy water.
Yeah, anoint it with oil.
Yeah, and anoint it with oil and then pray on it.
Okay. Therefore, I delivered her into the hands of her lovers, the Assyrians, for whom she lusted. They stripped her naked, took away her sons and daughters, and killed her with the sword.
Now, listen, okay, I don't understand this part, okay? So, this girl, Oholah?
This is Oholah, yes.
Oholah. So, let's get this straight. She's working her corner, right? And she's fucking the Assyrians. And then God just gives her to the Assyrians. And for some fucking reason, they're like, hey guys, I know what she's been putting out this entire time. Let's kill her.
Because she worships our gods?
I guess.
Right.
Not only, but if you forgot to mention this earlier, she defiled herself with the idols. She fucked herself with the idols.
It's like that octopus dick.
This is not Cthulhu, okay?
No, you remember they cut him off and throw him at you.
Yeah, I know, but it's not like...
Go fuck yourself.
It's not like they threw idols at her and was like, go fuck yourself, whore.
You don't know. It doesn't say it didn't happen.
I don't know. It kind of seems like she went to their holy places and was just like, hey, look, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough. She comes walking out of there, two sticking out of her back end and everything. I mean,
it doesn't make sense that they would choose to kill her. It seems like they would choose to keep her and,
I mean, use her service. I mean, she's
pour
obviously...
out their lust.
Yeah. I mean, it seems, getting down to the nitty gritty of it, it just does not make sense that they would just all of a sudden want to kill.
Because God told them to. God put it in their heads that that's what they needed to do is kill her. But I don't know why. They would have no motive to kill her.
Yeah, they wouldn't have any motive to kill. But I mean, so I guess because this is a parable about Israel and Judah and all this other shit, so God is the one that's influencing man to cause harm to his chosen people.
Because they are worshiping the idols and deities of the Assyrians.
God is an awesome God.
Reigns.
Does he? Is he?
Like, I mean, they don't listen to him, so they don't give a fuck. That's why he's mad.
God is good all the time.
All the time.
What?
Okay, so she became a byword among women, and punishment was inflicted on her. We don't know why the Assyrians would do this other than God told them to, right? And they don't even listen to him. Like, he's not one of their gods. So this just makes no sense. There's no logical flow to any of this. Anyway, her sister, Oholibah, saw this, yet in her lust and prostitution, she was more depraved than her sister. And keep in mind, Oholibah is Jerusalem, and she's more depraved.
Yeah.
Oholibah is the older one, I think. Yeah. Oh, no, the younger one. The younger one is the bigger whore. Okay. So she too lusted after the Assyrians, governors and commanders, warriors in full dress, mounted horsemen, all handsome young men. And so she, did the same men as her sister.
Well, so how does that make her more depraved? Like,
Wait, I'm going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I saw that she too defiled herself. Both of them went the same way. But she carried her prostitution still further. She saw men portrayed on a wall, figures of the Chaldeans. Now, the Chaldeans are the Babylonians. Chaldea and Babylon are the same. I don't know why they go back and forth between it. It seems like the different writers call it either Chaldea or Babylonia. Some of them swap back and forth.
Right.
So I don't know. Anyway, the Chaldeans portrayed in red. So she fucked the dudes in blue and she fucked the dudes in red. Okay. With belts around their waists and flowing turbans on their heads. Also, yeah, the Chaldeans had turbans. And
he was fancy as fuck in that particular bukkake session.
Yeah, all of them looked like Babylonian chariot officers, natives of Chaldea. As soon as she saw them, she lusted after them and sent messengers to them in Chaldea. Then the Babylonians came to her, to the bed of love, and in their lust they defiled her. After she had been defiled by them, she turned away from them in disgust. She was apparently disgusted by the people in red. When she carried on her prostitution openly and exposed her naked body, I turned away from her in disgust, just as I had turned away from her sister. Yet she became more and more promiscuous, as she recalled the days of her youth when she was a prostitute in Egypt. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys, and whose emission was like that of horses.
God damn, son. You got a fire hydrant in there, don't you? Maybe that's why she was like, she felt really bad afterwards. I mean, can you really, I mean, I feel like there's only so much you can take. Like, well, maybe she just felt sick to her stomach.
I don't know. This is the second time that they have mentioned how big Egyptian dick is. Yeah. Because she was a prostitute in Egypt, and there she lusted after her lovers, and their genitals were like donkey genitals.
Yeah, fucking donkey genitals. God damn.
And they had massive horse emission. So this is the second time that they've been in awe over Egyptian dick. So if you're interested in penises, apparently Egypt is the way to go.
There you go.
Okay.
Egyptian penis.
So you longed for the lewdness of your youth, when in Egypt your bosom was caressed and your young breasts fondled. Therefore, Oholibah, this is what the sovereign Lord says: I will stir up your lovers against you, those you turned away from in disgust, and I will bring them against you from every side. In this context, that sounds like maybe a good time.
Exactly what she would want. Like, it's 1 shekel for each of y'all motherfuckers, okay?
In this context, it does. It sounds like a party. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, the men of Pekod and Shoa and Koa, and all the Assyrians with them, handsome young men, all of them governors and commanders, chariot officers, and men of high rank, all mounted on horses. It seems like they've got money.
Yeah. Although I didn't think it was going to go the direction of saying they mounted the horses.
All mounted on horses, yeah. They will come against you with weapons, chariots and wagons, and with a throng of people. They will take up positions against you on every side with large and small shields and with helmets.
You know, I have a feeling. So I have a feeling that maybe God is like a breast man.
Yeah.
You know, just focus on, because like all throughout this thing, he's made it very plainly obvious that he cares about them touching the titties. So that has been very prominent. That, like, he kind of glosses over the bukkake sessions, but then he just focuses on, and then he touched her titties, and I was mad.
He also seems very insecure about Egyptian dick.
Yeah.
I will turn you over to them for punishment, and they will punish you according to their standards. I will direct my jealous anger against you, and they will deal with you in fury. They will cut off your noses and your ears, and those of you who are left will fall by the sword. They will take away your sons and daughters, and those of you who are left will be consumed by fire. They will also strip you of your clothes and take your fine jewelry. So I will put a stop to the lewdness and prostitution you began in Egypt. You will not look on these things with longing or remember Egypt anymore.
Damn.
No.
And this, just keep in mind, this is God doing this.
Very jealous of you.
Right. Well, he's doing this specifically to his chosen people. Like, he's causing people to do this to them.
Yes.
So, I mean, it might as well be God commanding that it happen.
It's just confusing why God would need someone else to do his dirty work. Like, just do it yourself.
Well, so, I mean, traditionally in the past, I mean, God has always needed man to do shit because obviously God doesn't exist. So it's just people rationalizing why shitty shit happens. But, I mean, I feel like in this particular instance, this is like another chapter that you could definitely cite if anybody comes up and be like, yeah, God's a good God all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What about that time that he inspired a bunch of people to like skin all of the flesh off of people and burn them down and stone them and kill everybody? I mean,
And steal all their clothes and jewelry, which they don't need because they're dead.
And then shout obscenities at them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for this is what the sovereign Lord says, I am about to deliver you into the hands of those you hate, to those you turned away from in disgust. They will deal with you in hatred and take away everything you have worked for. Again, it makes no sense that they would deal with them in hatred other than God inspired it, because there was no reason.
Yeah.
They have no motive.
No. Mm-hmm. It's almost like, I mean, just one day they were like, I'm irrationally mad and I want to kill that person.
Yeah. Yes. They will leave you stark naked, and the shame of your prostitution will be exposed. Your lewdness and promiscuity have brought this on you, because you lusted after the nations and defiled yourself with their idols.
I have to call a little bit of bullshit here on Yahweh, because, I mean, why is it that the prostitutes have to be ashamed of it? I mean, the people that are supposed to be shaming them are the ones that were partaking.
Right. That's why that's one of the reasons why it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, I would just be so confused. Like, wait a second. Y'all could have said no. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would eventually stop or something. And it's like, but we didn't want to, and it's your fault.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
The demand was there.
Maybe y'all shouldn't be demanding shit like bukakis and stuff.
You have gone the way of your sister, so I will put her cup into your hand. This is what the sovereign Lord says. You will drink your sister's cup, a cup large and deep. It will bring scorn and derision, for it holds so much. I feel like he's talking about the size of her lady bits.
Maybe, or it could be a red Solo cup.
One of the really giant ones.
Just the comically big ones.
Yeah, that would be really funny. You will be filled with drunkenness and sorrow. Maybe.
I'm telling you, the red Solo's been around forever.
Yeah. You, the cup of ruin and desolation, the cup of your sister Samaria. You will drink it and drain it dry and chew on its pieces.
What?
And you will tear your breasts.
What?
That's what it says.
You're
going to chew on plastic while you're tearing your breasts apart.
I don't know. I don't know why she would do that.
She's upset and in sorrow. You know how he says, like, when they say you'll tear your sackcloth, or you tear your robe, like, because you're mourning, tear at your. Apparently, this is how women do it.
I didn't realize titties.
Tear at your boobs.
I didn't realize titties were detachable back then.
There's no evidence to suggest they were.
You were about to be like, well, they're not technically. But then you're like, well, shit, this is magical land, so they might be detachable.
I mean, I guess you could tear them off if you tried hard enough.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be a strong motherfucker.
It doesn't say tear them off, though. It says tear them. So you can claw at something and rip it and tear it. It doesn't say tear them off. It just says tear them.
Oh. I guess when I think tear them, if I think, oh, I tore the curtain, like it's like ripped apart. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be completely separated.
Well, it doesn't have to come off the wall. It can just be torn.
Right.
Torn doesn't mean separated from.
Still, this is fucking brutal. I don't know why I don't know why God would make Israel grab at their titties like that. That's just a little bit too.
Well, he's going to make Jerusalem do this.
You think God's into the BDSM stuff? A little bit of masochism there?
God's into a lot of stuff. We're not going to kink shame, but I'm not on his train.
No. That particular kink train is just not boarding right now.
No, I do not stop at that station. Yeah. I have spoken, declares the sovereign Lord. Of course, you've spoken, so it must be so. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. Since you have forgotten me and turned your back on me, you must bear the consequences of your lewdness and prostitution. The Lord said to me, Son of man, will you judge Oholah and Oholibah? Then confront them with their detestable practices, for they have committed adultery and blood is on their hands. Maybe because you made them tear at their boobs.
Yeah, it sounds like your fault, Yahweh. Fuck.
They committed adultery with their idols. They even sacrificed their children, whom they bore to me, as food for them. They have also done this to me. At the same time, they defiled my sanctuary and desecrated my Sabbaths. On the very day they sacrificed their children to their idols, they entered my sanctuary and desecrated it. That is what they did in my house.
They went face down, ass up on Sunday. You don't do that for the Lord.
Or any other god.
Or any other god. Of course, God does like it when you go face down, ass up, but your ass is covered.
But this is the problem. The problem isn't prostitution. It's a parable. The problem is that they worshipped other gods. That's the problem. God is a jealous God. He said so in Exodus? Mm-hmm. God is a jealous God.
Yep.
And he is jealous that they are worshiping other deities.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all this is about.
See, I kind of feel like this is where I get the whole sucking God dick from, okay? Mm-hmm. Because God is so focused on portraying them as whores and how they're pleasing other gods and worshiping other gods. It just sounds like he's a little jealous that he's not getting his pickle sickled a little more.
He is.
Yeah. See, I'm right.
But that's what I'm saying. That's all this is about. Is they're
sucking God dick.
They're not only worshiping him, they're worshiping other gods. And when they worship him, if they don't do it the right way and the way that he says to do it. And so it's just, this is all because this is a God ego thing. This is totally a God ego. They even sent messengers for men who came from far away. When they arrived, you bathed yourself for them, applied eye makeup, and put on your jewelry.
Fuck you getting pretty.
See, here's the thing. When you've got a date, you do that shit before they get there.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to do it after they get there. Doesn't make no sense. Anyway, you sat on an elegant couch with a table spread before it on which you had placed the incense and olive oil that belonged to me. So you sat on a nice sofa and you put out a spread so they had something to eat and drink.
Fuck bitch. Bitch. I mean, goddamn. Are you civilized or some shit?
The noise of a carefree crowd was around her. Drunkards were brought from the desert along with men from the rabble. And they put bracelets on the wrists of the woman and her sister and beautiful crowns on their heads. So they showered them with gifts.
Well, yeah. So also, if they're already drunk and they've been, they came in from the desert and everything like that, that's pretty good hand-eye coordination for being that drunk. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, when are you going to do this whole, put a crown on my head?
What?
'Cause I'm interested in this.
I mean, you've got a tiara. I'll put it on your head if you want it.
But it's... We'll get a better one.
You're complaining about shit you could just ask me to do. It's like, why haven't you asked me yet? If you want me to do it, just you just gotta say something, honey. Last time we looked at that thing, you thought it was ridiculous. So
it doesn't have it doesn't have combs so it would stick in your hair. It just sits, it's stupid. It doesn't sit right. We have to get a different one.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Then I said about the worn out.
Worn out what?
Hold on.
Come on. We all know what's worn out here.
It doesn't say that. I read it wrong. Then I said about the one worn out by adultery.
Oh, so it is talking about the vagina.
Yeah. Now let them use her as a prostitute, for that is all she is. Dang. Yeah. Sorry, that's not... Even legit real prostitutes, that's not all they are. It's a job. And then they slept with her. As men sleep with a prostitute, so they slept with those lewd women, Oholah and Oholibah. But righteous judges will sentence them to the punishment of women who commit adultery and shed blood, because they are adulterous and blood is on their hands. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Bring a mob against them and give them over to terror and plunder. The mob will stone them and cut them down with their swords. They will kill their sons and daughters and burn down their houses. So I will put an end to lewdness in the land, and all women may take warning and not imitate you. You will suffer the penalty for your lewdness and bear the consequences of your sins of idolatry. Then you will know that I am the sovereign Lord.
I feel like they should already know he's the sovereign Lord.
Well, he says it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just mad because, we kind of already talked about it. Israel and Judah are his bride. Remember? He views them as his, of course, it's weird because he views them as his bride and as his children. So this is bizarre.
Yep.
And he doesn't like that they go after material things. He doesn't like that they worship other gods. And he just feels like he has no.
Yeah, this seems like a sister-mother situation right here.
Does it? Okay, so again, we've been going through all of these prophecies. For the end here, we just have a couple more verses, but we're going to get back to this timeline story, right? So you have the prophecies intermingled throughout. In the timeline, we're at about 590 to 589 BC.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay. And that's when there's a rebellion against Babylon. Okay?
Okay.
And it says, and it's mentioned in 2 Kings 24, 2 Chronicles 36, and Jeremiah 52. And it says, he also rebelled against King Nebuchadnezzar, who made him take an oath in God's name. And the he they're talking about is King Zedekiah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're talking about Lord Zed. So we're talking about Lord Zed and how he rebelled against Babylon. And it fits into this timeline. Okay, so he rebelled against Babylon. And then in 2 Kings 25, Jeremiah 39 and 52, they mention the siege of Jerusalem, which God is saying Jerusalem is going to get the worst of it because they're the worst, right?
Right.
So this is like the fulfillment of that prophecy, supposedly. Okay.
Okay.
So in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army. He encamped outside the city and built siege works around it. All right.
Okay.
So that's all for today. Next time we're going to continue in Ezekiel 24. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to, there's going to be a siege announced, a different siege announced to Ezekiel. So Ezekiel's going to know about it. And there's going to be another parable. This time it's about a cooking pot.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's wife is going to die.
Okay. Somebody's wife.
Somebody's wife.
Yahweh's wife?
Yahweh's wife. No.
Oh, okay.
Somebody's wife is going to die. There's going to be a sign about Jerusalem's fall.
They fucked?
Fall.
Oh, well, yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. They're fucked.
Oh, what the sign is? You'll learn. You'll learn next week. And that's what we're going to talk about next week. We're just doing Ezekiel 24 next week.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, if you guys want to hear about all this shit and how Ezekiel, well, not Ezekiel, but how Israel is going to get fucked up once again by God.
And Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem. Just all of his chosen people are going to get fucked up by God. If you want to learn about that, then I guess you'll have to tune in next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys will, please go down below and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this section of the Bible. It's pretty fucked up, so I'd love to hear all your bukkake stories. And
please don't leave bukkake stories in the comments. Thank you.
And I guess we'll see you heathens next week.
Don't forget to stand up and use your voice.
Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.